Sorry about that. We were muted. Let's start this over real fast. Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As if you're watching live, this is take 2 because I got a new setup with how I run the stream, and some of the things work differently, and it's not all set up properly, perfectly. So yeah, plus I've been having internet connection. It's been a day, guys. It's been a day, but I wanted to address something here in the live chat. Mr. What is your name? Empty Arena Rumble says, oh, empty, or not, that's not your name, that's your comment. He says, is Harrieth VMX reviews. It says empty Arena Rumble. Really? Look at this photo. Let's go here. Does that look empty to you? The reason it looked empty on TV is because next to every seat, there's this big light. So that way they can control the way the stands look with lighting for different entrances and stuff. Same with the WrestleMania sign, which I was corrected. There was a WrestleMania sign hanging. They had a big old rafter deal there. Anyways. There's 25,000 people there. And this was during, I want to say, yeah, during the end of the Women's Rumble, or towards the end of the Women's Rumble, when Sol Ruka was eliminated. Does that look empty to you? It don't look empty to me. But everyone over here saying, it's super empty. Everyone kept saying during the Women's Rumble that, you guys can see my mouse, that this, well, you couldn't really see this, but like this area from like here up and this area from here up, it's all empty. Why is it all empty? Why are there only people on the floor? Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't. It was just the way that stadium was set up as far as having a light next to every seat. It wasn't empty. Like, look at this photo from the building. It wasn't empty. And I'm going to pull up, let's do this. I'm going to pull up a video from the building as well. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move stuff around here on my desk just to make this a little easier. Again, like I said, I've kind of changed my setup a little bit. Got some new software and hardware I'm playing around with, testing out. I'm gonna move it in more arm length so I'm not like reaching for it, if that makes a lot of sense. But let me pull up this video here. Let's pull up this video also from inside the building. We're not going to play the audio, of course, but does that look empty to you? Just wait. Just wait. It pans around. Does that look empty to you? Empty Arena Rumble? Empty Arena Rumble? What guy? You got, he says, how was the light next to this seat hide the audience? Well, I don't know. But that's how it looked on TV, and this is how it looked in person. That don't look empty, guy. So your empty Arena Rumble, wrong. It wasn't empty. As you saw, that first photo I showed you was from during the Women's Rumble. And then this was, I want to say, during... Which match was this? AJ before, I'm trying to remember. This might have been the AJ match. Right after the AJ match, I want to say. So, Mr. Empty Arena Rumble and everybody else over here go, oh, the place was so empty. They could barely feel it. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody was there. Yeah, okay. Nobody was there. Nobody. Just thought I would bring that to y'all's attention, showing you guys that the place was packed out. Was it 100% packed out? Was every seat sold or someone sitting in it? Probably not. But you're never going to go to a show and every single seat's going to have a person in it. Like, that's very rare, even at a WrestleMania. I went to WrestleMania 31 in Levi's Stadium back in 2015, and there were still some empty seats. Whether those were seats that were, and then Saudi's going to be different because I don't know what the scalper situation is in Saudi, but whether those were seats sold and the person just couldn't make it, seats sold to a scalper that they couldn't offload, or seats just didn't get sold. So, yeah, there's always going to be empty seats. And yes, it did look very empty on TV, but that's not the case. As you see in those pictures there, and in the video I showed you, in the picture and the video, the place was packed out. Place was packed out. So, we'll see. We'll see. Interestingly, though, they did not give us an attendance number. Michael Cole just said a couple times, over 25,000. Over 25,000. But they never gave an official attendance number, which was interesting, in my opinion. Which was very, very interesting. I think someone just turned the heater on in this house. It's getting warm. Let me turn the fan on to compensate. There we go. But regardless of all of that, I thought the Royal Rumble show was fine. We've had better Rumble shows. We didn't have many surprises, I would say. I think Roman, well, and we'll get into this in a little bit. Braun Breaker getting eliminated as fast as he did was a huge surprise. A shocker. Like, knock my hat off, shocker. And then Roman winning was also kind of a surprise, which now the big question is, which way does Roman go? Does Roman go for CM Punk in his title if he's still the champion by Mania? Or does Roman go Drew McIntyre in his title if he's the champion still of Mania? Because they're really pushing. I think the route we're going is Roman's challenging Punk. And instead of doing Roman Cody, we go back to that original plan of Roman challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is supposed to be Roman and Seth. And it's now Roman and Punk. So that's what I think is happening. We're kind of going back to the original plan because Triple H has changed this plan, as we've heard in the rumors and the reports and the innuendo and all that, a couple times now. Originally, it was Seth and Roman. Then it was Roman and Cody. And then he said, I don't know if we need that again so soon. What do we do with Roman? Well, Roman's probably going to, not back to Seth, but back to the World Heavyweight Championship. So I think it's going to be Roman and CM Punk. I thought it was going to be Braun Breaker and CM Punk. Obviously, we're going a whole different direction with Braun Breaker. And I think it's going to be Cody and Drew. Maybe you still have Jacob involved in that and somehow, but with Drew eliminating Cody from the Rumble, there's no way it's not Cody and Drew at WrestleMania. There's no way Cody's not winning the Chamber in Chicago. So, yeah. I think we got some good, what's the word I'm looking for, insight on where we're going here. I think Cody and Drew for sure. Maybe Cody, Drew, Jacob. Roman and Punk. And maybe Liv and Raquel. I think Raquel wins the belt tomorrow. And then we get Liv challenging Raquel for the title at WrestleMania. But again, it's all speculation. It's all, hey, here's what I think. Fantasy booking. I am going to work on a video tomorrow with like 5 matches I think are possible for this year's WrestleMania coming out of the Royal Rumble. So we'll see how that all does go. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, help us out over on YouTube. Support us over there. You can hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos, when we go live, and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember to hit the join button and become a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat, and access to our graphics packages. Finally, remember on YouTube, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, donate a super chat. Donate a super chat helps keeps all these lights over here on. All of these keeps it all, the mics and lights going. We really do appreciate that. But finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Again, that's code PWU NLIMITED for everything on the Epic Game Store or games that are published. I've almost said produced, published by Epic Games, whether that's Fortnite, Fall Guys, or Rocket League on your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Switch 2, your any Xboxes actually, any PlayStations actually, well, PlayStation 4 or 5, your PC, your phone, anything that you play those games on. Use our code PW Unlimited. That's PWU NLIMITED. With all of that, we had the Royal Rumble to talk about, which I thought was a good show, not a great show, which is, I think for a Rumble, it was a lesser Royal Rumble event. And that's just my opinion. That's just totally my opinion. You guys can think different and think it was a great Royal Rumble show or it sucked totally. I thought it was a very easy to watch show, flew by, and I enjoyed it. But there was no other than the Braun Breaker thing, there really wasn't a, oh my God, or holy, AJ losing, I was shocked. We'll talk about that and what Triple H had to say about it after as well. But yeah, there wasn't the big, oh my God, that was awesome, or oh my God, that was amazing, or oh my God, you gotta see this thing. There's things to talk about for sure. There's news notes and beats coming out of this for sure. But as a show, we've had better PLEs, I will say that. So nothing really happened on the pre-show. We'll just say that. Nothing really happened on the pre-show. But Charlotte Flair, the show starts, we get a little hype video, whatever. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Gunther, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Triple H, Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu, Javon Evans, and Cody Rhodes were all shown from earlier in the day entering the stadium. And they did some cool graphic stuff, and with the women, they had some cool camera transition things where it was I think at one point, who was it? I think it was maybe Raquel took her sunglasses off, and then the black of rim of the sunglasses went right into the camera, so it blacked it out, and then immediately it pops back and it comes off of Nia's black shirt. It's kind of cool. There was another one where I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Charlotte and Alexa. One of them hit the camera down, and so when it went down and popped back up, it was different people. So I thought there's some cool things there. And then with the men, they had a bunch of split screen stuff. So yeah, it was cool. Then we get the hype video to open it up. And finally, 13 minutes into the main card, the show starts with the Women's Royal Rumble. Charlotte Flair comes out at number 1, and she's in the ring going, all right, who's number 2? Who's number 2? How did she not know who number 2 was? Was number 2 not standing right there next to her, waiting to come out right after her? You would think number 1 and 2 know who each other are at the start of the Rumble. But I guess not, because she was super shocked when it was, Alexa Bliss. So Alexa comes down. Her and Charlotte are a 1 and 2. They're also supposed to be best friends. And they have a silly exchange. They waste about 90 seconds. They tease fighting each other, but they really don't want to fight each other. Then I think it was, Alexa jumped on Charlotte's back, and they were just all right, bring out number 3. We're ready. We're not going to do this. And number 3 was Kiana James. She came down and hit some offense, but was overwhelmed with the 2-on-1. Number 4, Nia Jax. Nia Jax came out and was booed as she dominated everybody. She turned and gave the fans a little fuck it for their good measure, which hardly seemed appreciated and very inappropriate in Saudi Arabia, I would say. Ivy Nile then came out at number 5. She tried some power stuff on Nia. Didn't really work. Nia took her down. Then we got the first non-announced name. It was NXT's Lola Vice at number 6, who got a pretty good reaction. She handed out some kicks to everybody. Jax was unimpressed and leveled Vice with the clothesline before mocking her with a hip dance. And I think it's starting to snow outside, actually. Looking at the camera here. Interesting. Sorry about that. Where was I? Kenna James got Jax on her shoulders at one point and hit her with a Samoan drop, which got a very good response from the crowd. Number 7 was Candice LeRae. Michael Cole reminded us that Candice LeRae and Nia Jax were friends a couple years back. They have a little bit of a friendship. And Wade Barrett goes, "Good job, Cole. You got the correct name this time." Because remember back when, I can't remember when it was. Maybe it was last year's Rumble. He kept calling her Candice Michelle, who she's in the news because she is now a producer for TNA. She's working backstage with TNA, which is very interesting. Number 8 is Jordan Grace. She quickly eliminates both Candice LeRae and Lola Vice before also dumping Ivy Nile. First 3 eliminations. Bliss and Jax then wound up on the apron as Bliss and Flair tried eliminating Jax. Jax then shoved Flair towards the middle of the ring. Then Charlotte ran back with a big boot, but when she did that big boot, she knocked Nia off and accidentally also knocked Alexa off the apron. So, yeah. Charlotte accidentally eliminated Alexa. Becky Lynch will then come out next. She entered at number 9. She went right after Charlotte, of course, and the two got into a little brawl in the ring. They both rolled out of the ring at one point, continued fighting at ringside. Under the bottom ropes, not eliminated for going over the top. Number 10 would be another unannounced name. Sol Ruca would make her way down and got a good showing here. She had a springboard somersault double clothesline on 2 of the women early on before going after Becky Lynch. She continued to shine until Roxanne Perez would come out at number 11. Maxine Dupree, number 12. Dupree then went right after Becky. And Maxine's got this thing where she just over-exaggerates things. Because, she's like, and I'm like, you ain't a DBZ character. Calm down. But the crowd just didn't care for Maxine. She was doing these things, throwing these kicks and big reactions, and the crowd was just there. Which we'll talk about the crowd just being there for people entering the Rumble and the Men's Rumble. Holy crap, did they not care for the AAA guys? Dupree was standing tall as Natty entered at number 13. This was the funniest fucking thing. Because she's in the corner with somebody, and she, throws a punch, and you hear the crowd go, 2, 1, and she goes, huh? She heard, oh my God, it's not. But Natty's music hadn't played yet, so she reacted early to Natty coming out at number 13. It was the funniest thing, because she's in the corner here. She's like, boom, and you hear the crowd, 1, and she's, maybe I'm over-exaggerating a little bit, but she reacted to Natty before we knew it was Natty. Funny. Anyways, she's not Natalia. She's Natty, the Low-Key legend. Doing that gimmick now. And Natty went after, where was I? Natty went right after Dupree. Dupree put Natty in an ankle lock, but Natty rolled out of it. Lynch then gave Dupree a manhandle slam and tossed her out for the elimination. Lynch then tried to surprise Natty, but Natty easily blocked her elimination attempt. Natty put Lynch on her shoulders and easily dumped her from the Rumble. So it looks like we could get Natty versus Becky sometime soon for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't see that being dragged out till Mania like some of the other stuff we saw tonight. But I can see that being either in the next couple of weeks on Raw or at Elimination Chamber in Chicago in 4 weeks. Liv Morgan, our eventual winner, would come out at number 14. She had counted James with an Oblivion before giving Sol Ruca the 3 Amigos. She worked together with Roxanne before Lash Legend would enter at 15. Legend went in and got in there with Jordan Grace. They fought for a little while. I think Grace was eliminated by Lash Legend. And then Zelina would come out at number 16. They haven't redone her graphics yet because all of her Titantron said Zelina Vega, which is funny. Raquel Rodriguez would come out at number 17 next. The 3 Judgment Day women were now all working together and worked well together for a while. I say that because, well, we saw what Liv did. So Chelsea Green would come out at number 18. She was accompanied by Alba Fire. And Green slid into the ring, and all 3 women of the Judgment Day are just standing there in front of her, and she's like, friends? And Liv slacks her hand away, so she backhands Liv, and oh boy, was that the wrong move. So she's fighting with all 3 women of the Judgment Day. Alba Fire pulls her out of the ring to safety. Under the bottom rope, not elimination, but she gets pulled back into the ring. Alba gets pulled into the ring as well. Raquel then eliminates, dumps Alba over the top rope. I think Wade's like, that's an elimination. He's like, and Cole goes, she's not even in the match, Wade. And so Julia then comes out at number 19. Green was also eliminated here, but got her feet on Alba Fire, who basically was crawling around ringside and was on all fours, and Chelsea landed on her back. Io Sky come down at number 20. She woke up the crowd because last couple entrances they didn't really care for. Julia and Chelsea, and yeah, it was kind of just, they were there. So with Sky and Julia in the ring, they kind of didn't work together, but they were standing tall at one point, just standing there when Asuka music hit, and they both look at each other like, oh fuck, Asuka. So Asuka takes her time to come down to the ring. I think Wade Barrett was like, I love Asuka being methodical here. She's taking her time, and her opponents are just like waiting for her, but not sure when they're gonna get her hands on her. So I like that, the little mind games with Asuka. The three women then face off with Julia and Asuka, end up teaming up against Sky. Sky ducked a kick by Asuka, and Asuka kicked Julia right in the face. Rhea Ripley would then enter at number 22. Big, huge pyro display, and I'm like, oh, is she winning? No other woman's gotten pyro. But like, Rhea got the entrance. And Wade Barrett said, you gotta be a pretty big star to get that much pyro for a Rumble. Julia eliminated Zelina at this point with a knee strike on the apron. Moments later, Ripley would toss out Chelsea Green. Ripley then eliminated Roxanne Perez by giving her a huge ass razor's edge over the top rope, onto the floor, onto Chelsea and Alba, who caught her down below. Bayley would then come out at number 23. She went right after Sol Ruca. Cole said Sol Ruca embarrassed Bayley by beating her at Saturday night's main event. Then we got another surprise that we didn't know about, but was expected with her absence from this week's NXT, was NXT Women's Champion JC Jane. She came out at number 24. She focused her offense on Sol Ruca. That plays into some stuff that I think is going to play into some stuff on NXT. Natty went after Liv Morgan, so Rodriguez made the save. Natty then wound up on the apron, and Morgan gave her an oblivion and knocked her out of the ring. Number 25 would be Nikki Bella. Nikki flashed for a moment, I guess you would say, and came down to the ring, got a little bit of offense in. She gave Rodriguez a tornado DDT, but Morgan cut her off with the code breaker. Lyra Valkyria would come out at number 26, and she ran a wild. Julia and Bayley then went at it for a little while, so Valkyria flew in and eliminated Julia, saving Bayley in the process. Another unannounced name was NXT's Kalani Jordan at number 27. They talked about how she's a big high flyer, and she immediately went to the top rope and hit a Phoenix Splash on JC Jane before hitting Rodriguez and Morgan with a double DDT. Kairi Sane would then come out at number 28 to work together with Asuka to try and eliminate Ripley, but Ripley managed to stay in. Sane then almost eliminated Asuka by accident, but stopped short of knocking her out. Sky then went after them, and Asuka wound up on the apron. Sky avoided a Sane forearm, and Sane did, in fact, eliminate Asuka by accident. So that's going to be a thing. Asuka was eliminated by Kairi. Asuka gave her a crazy look, and Kairi looked scared for her life. She was frozen in fear, so Sky knocked her out as well. Asuka grabbed her by the hair and took her to the back. Then we got our one big actual surprise of the Women's Rumble. It was Brie mode. Out came Brie Bella. This crowd erupted to their feet with yes chants. Yes, 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 yes. She jumps right into the ring. She starts doing the yes kicks. Michael Cole says, you know who that's an homage to, but wouldn't say his name. Brie then hugged Nikki, and the two were tackled down by Morgan and Rodriguez. We had one woman left to come in. It's former WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton. Stratton, who's been out for a while, they said, with a knee injury. We never knew what that was, but Cole said knee injury, so we'll say knee injury. She wiped out 5 women in the ring with a swanton. Stratton and Flair then went at it for a bit, but they were tackled down by Raquel Rodriguez and Morgan, and the remaining women all brawled as there was nobody else left to come out. So Brie and Nikki simultaneously eliminated Bayley and Valkyria as the crowd chanted yes once again. JC Jane eliminated Kalani Jordan, and told her, go back to NXT. And I go, what? But you're just going to go back to NXT as well. I didn't understand that line. Go back to NXT. Like, it's not like JC Jane was just called up and now she's making fun of Kalani for having to go back to NXT. That made no sense, especially when she's the NXT Women's Champion. But she wasn't paying attention to who was in the ring. Soul then hit her with a soul snatcher and dumped her. So I think we're going to get Sol Ruca challenging JC Jane soon for the NXT Championship. Lash Legend then eliminated Nikki. So Brie flew in, or tried to eliminate Nikki. So Brie flew in for a save, but Lash dumped them both. Double elimination on the Bellas. And I was like, whoa, that's big. That's big. Fans actually booed it. They were not happy that the Bellas got eliminated. Bellas came off as very, very big stars in Saudi. Charlotte Flair went after Lash Legend, but Lash booted her off the apron. Flair lasted just shy of 1 hour. It was 59 minutes and 49 seconds. So big eliminations for Lash Legend. Both Bellas and Charlotte Flair. The Lash and Sky battled it out on the apron next. Sky got Lash in a leg lock, but Lash smashed Sky's other leg. Sky fell out of the ring for the elimination. 5 women, or that's 5 eliminations for Lash. Ripley was pissed off here. Went after Lash Legend. Morgan, Ruca, and Stratton each tried to get involved as well. But Ripley and Lash knocked them all down easily. Lash then got the better of the exchange and booted Ripley. Ripley got back to her feet, but Rodriguez booted her back down. Rodriguez then went at it with Lash Legend next, but Lash got the better of it. However, after Lash fended off Rodriguez, Ripley clotheslined her out of the ring. Big reaction for Lash getting eliminated. Rodriguez then gave Ripley a Tejana bomb over the top rope and onto the apron, which looked and sounded brutal. Ripley was then eliminated as she fell to the floor. That got a huge reaction, which I was not expecting. Mommy getting eliminated got a big pop. So Raquel was like, oh yeah, I got Liv, or I got Rhea. I got you, Rhea. Well, she was more worried about taunting Rhea, where Liv all of a sudden came up from behind, yoink, dumps her out of the Rumble. That was not expected. Raquel literally lands right on her feet and goes, what was that? And Liv's like, sorry, I gotta go. We're down to 3. It's Sol Ruca, Tiffany Stratton, and Liv Morgan. They see something in Sol Ruca big, like big. So they start fighting. Stratton swatted down Sol Ruca after she went for her finisher. Morgan immediately hits Stratton with an Oblivion, knocking her. Stratton eliminates Sol. Liv then hits the Oblivion on Stratton and eliminates her. Liv wins the Rumble. So I'm not explaining this right because this was a weird spot. So basically, all 3 women fall over the top rope, but they hold on. Then they're fighting on the apron. And Ruca tries to jump at Stratton, but Stratton knocks her down. Stratton then tries to go at Liv, but then Liv hits her with an Oblivion on the apron, which could have been bad, could have gone wrong, but nope. She takes the nice bump, boom, bop, bop. We're good. I didn't do that justice talking about how that match, the ending was, because it was kind of over-scripted and contrived, but it was different, but not too different from what we've seen in the Women's Rumble before with the whole fighting on the apron and eliminations and all that. It was a thing. It was a thing. The match itself went 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 50 seconds. So I had no clue who was going to win this match going in. And I was just like, who's the biggest woman they got right now that would benefit from main eventing at WrestleMania? Liv Morgan. So that was my pick. Every time someone asked me, who's your pick for the Women's Rumble? I would say Liv. But I had no real stance on it. Like, no, why Liv? It was just, oh, Liv makes sense, I guess. Now, as far as Brie Bella, I want to bring this up from WWE Shop. Wait, what? Oh, I thought it said WWE was live again. I was like, why would they still be live on YouTube? No, I wanted to bring it. Oh, I didn't see this. You got Thank You AJ merch. Oh man, he really is done. But hold on. So I wanted to bring up this post here by WWE Shop. Because the way this is worded is very interesting as far as, is Brie actually back? So it says, quote, Brie Bella is here. celebrate her return with this new tee available now. Nope, that's not the right post. There's another one. Oh, no, that is the right post. Her return with this new tee. Now, it's saying return and not just Brie being in the Rumble. Interesting one. It makes it sound like she's sticking around. Could we see them Bellas go for the tag titles? I think that's something we could see. Again, it says celebrate her return. Not just like celebrate Brie Bella, being in the Rumble. No, it's her return. Also, I didn't see this previously, but we got some thank you AJ Styles merch. Let's go WWE shop. Here we go. I'm going to need to get that red shirt. I'm going to need to get that red one for sure. Oh my God. We will post links on our social media if you guys want to get those shirts and also subsequently support us at the same time if you would like to. We have our WWE Shop affiliate links. We will post those out. But yeah, I did not see that. Thank you, AJ shirts. We'll talk more about AJ because Triple H had some interesting words about AJ Styles on the post show, which makes me glad I watched the post show. But Liv wins. I wouldn't say it was super predictable in the expectation, but it was like, that's what most people predicted because it was like a safe bet, I guess you would say. Let's see. Do we have any? We do have some bit donations here. Let's see. Esports Gaming Rules says maybe those WWE crowds in those post shows that booed Triple H want The Rock to run the creative or want Chris Jericho back in WWE or don't want Gunther as the face of WWE. Well, first off, and I hope I don't offend you with this, Esports Gaming Rules, but all the people that say the fans want The Rock to run creative are dumb as fuck. No real fan wants The Rock running creative because it's not going to be The Rock running creative. If for some stupid ass reason they were to put The Rock in charge and kick Triple H out, it would not be The Rock. It would actually end up being Brian Gewirtz in charge of creative, and The Rock would just be the face of it all. But it would actually be Brian Gewirtz. I'm telling you this right now. It would not be Rock. Rock would have a lot of input, but he's not going to be the one there doing the late night meetings in Stanford, over there meeting with creative and all the producers and being at every Raw, every SmackDown, all the PLEs, It wouldn't be. It'd be Brian Gewirtz. So for all you guys go, oh, they should put The Rock in charge. For what? To be the face? No. Fuck that. Triple H is doing fine. Better than when Vince was around. Trust me. Do you remember 2018 and 19? Going into COVID? You don't want that. He says Royce Keys arrived in WWE and they mentioned his and Cody's history in AEW. Sorta. They said they've had some beef in the past or whatever, but they didn't say AEW. Bella Twins reunited in WWE, and does that mean they go after the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship soon on the road to WrestleMania 42 Vegas? I think it's possible. I think it's very possible that the Bellas, or at least Brie, has her final match ever at WrestleMania, going for the tag titles. Whether they win them or not, I don't know. If they win them, then it's not Brie's final match, of course. But I don't know about Mania, maybe. But I think they're back and they're going to challenge for the tag titles. I think that is a thing for sure. He says Roman Reigns won the men's Rumble. I mean, Roman Reigns won the men's Rumble. Like that. I kind of want to read super chats that are talking about things we haven't talked about here on the stream yet. But I know if I don't read them now, I'm going to miss it and not get back to it. It's the hard part about doing this solo and not having like a producer to curate all the super chats and bit donations and say, hey, read this one now. Hey, read this one now. Like I've done with others when I've produced other people's podcasts. Anyways, I'm just going to read them all. We're going to talk about stuff that we haven't gone over yet, but it's fine. He says Roman Reigns won the women's Royal Rumble, won the men's Royal Rumble match. So does that mean he picks the World Heavyweight Championship while we maybe see a triple threat of Cody, Fatu, Drew for the championship at Vegas? That's what I think. I don't know if Fatu is involved, but like I said earlier, I think it's Punk and Roman, Drew, Cody, maybe Drew, Cody, Jacob. He also says, hope AJ Styles gets behind the scenes role in WWE. So I'm not going to respond to this yet because we're actually going to go in depth in what Triple H said and what I think that means here in a little bit. So I'm going to circle back to that topic because we are going to do a whole thing on that. Royal Rumble Riyadh just proved for WWE TKO that Saudi Arabia and Riyadh deserves a WrestleMania. We'll get one next week because this show ended and we got like an almost 10-minute fireworks drone show just at the end of it. And Michael Cole goes, it's 2 a.m. here in Saudi. Fuck. Waking everybody up. Did you see 2 El Grande Americanos fighting now? Yeah, I watched the Rumble. They did the Spider-Man pose and everything. You're asking me, did I see it? Dude, we're reviewing the show. Thank you for the bit donation, but you're asking me if I saw something. Excuse me. You're asking me if I saw something that I'm literally going to review. That we're reviewing in this podcast. That I tweeted about. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We literally posted about the El Grandes. There's a new original El Grande T-shirt. This one says, Becky Lynch contract Bob Iger on X. What? What are you talking about, Becky Lynch and Bob Iger on X? Bob Iger runs Disney. So I don't know what you're talking about. Hold on. Let's go to X really fast. Becky Lynch and Bob Iger. What? Becky Lynch, Bob Iger. Oh, so I haven't seen this. This was from right before the Rumble? No, after the Rumble. Just got off the phone with Bob Iger. We are working on redoing the Royal Rumble later. Oh, it was a dumb, stupid, funny tweet. Not a real thing. She's not going to be in a Disney or a Marvel movie or something. She was actually supposed to be in the Eternals, though. Never mind. Did you actually read that tweet, Esports Gaming Rules? Because you got me. Anyways, moving back here to the Rumble. We got AJ Styles versus Gunther. If AJ loses, he must retire. And boy, oh, did this get me. I wouldn't say I cried, but it got me a little emotional. I will say that. Freaking, I've loved AJ Styles since first time I saw him in 2002. I found TNA by accident because they were running. So in 2002, they started TNA. Maybe it was 2000. Yeah, it's 2002. They started TNA and they were doing the Wednesday weekly pay-per-views, right? Well, there we go. My screen popped off for a second. Anyways, so they were doing the weekly TNA pay-per-view shows. But a lot of people don't know this. Jeremy Borash, I think it was Jeremy Borash. Maybe it was Mike Tenay. I can't remember who. But they were doing, like those were hour shows. They were doing like a 30-minute recap on just regular TV. Like we had, you know, Fox on channel 26, ABC on channel 30, NBC on channel 24, CBS on channel 47. Well, then we just had other random grab it with your antenna, don't have to pay for it channels. And channel 32 had wrestling on Saturdays at 11 o'clock at night. We would get NWA Wildside and some sort of weird ass TNA recap show. And both of those shows featured AJ Styles. I saw this man and I said, oh boy, this is the coolest dude in wrestling. Saw the shit he was doing and said, oh my God, this guy is fantastic. And so from then on, I was enamored by AJ Styles. Just hooked by AJ Styles. Followed him in TNA. Because once TNA got on was a Fox Sports Net or whatever, then I can watch it. Because I wasn't paying for those goddamn $10 pay-per-views every week. Hell no. I was a kid. I was like 7th grade, 8th grade, 6th grade, 6th, 7th grade, something like that. I wasn't paying for no $9.99 pay-per-view every week to watch the weekly show, but I would watch those recap shows at 11:30 at night right after NWA Wildside. AJ was on that. AJ was on both of those. And then when they were like, oh, we're going to Fox Sports Net, I was like, no fucking way. We're getting this on regular TV. I can watch the whole show. Oh, boy. And granted, there were forums online where people were posting clips from the show. So, like, I was seeing more of just what was in the recap show. So, I gotta shoot somebody else down in the fucking live chat again. Hey, GTA fan, you want to be a fucking dumb son of a bitch again like you always are in the live chat? Oh, Tim, you lied. Oh, Tim, you lied. Oh, Tim, you lied. Well, first off, you saying that I always lie tells me that you don't listen to the content. You don't actually watch the videos and hear that I'm sourcing other people's reports for starters. So it's like when I say so-and-so could be expected for the Rumble per a report from Wrestling Observer, PW Insider, WrestleVotes, Fightful. It's coming from them. The Jericho stuff, you must not follow me on social media. I fucking posted yesterday. Jericho ain't gonna be in this Rumble. He's still on the goddamn AEW roster page. So where did I lie saying Jericho's gonna be in the Rumble? All I ever said was that Jericho is expected to return to WWE. The Rumble feels like a good spot for that to happen. I never once aggregated from somebody else or said to myself, of myself, Jericho will be in the Rumble. Jericho's going to go to Saudi and be in the Rumble. All I said was, it makes sense to re-debut him, bring him back, have him return in the Rumble. Never miss a video, but you don't listen, you stupid son of a bitch. Because I never once said, oh, Jericho is going to be in the Rumble. It's a fact. It's been reported. I know for sure. No, never once. And if you do this to get me heated every time with your, Tim, you lied again. Tim, you lied to me. Well, you know what? Good on you. You got me to rant again because you're a stupid motherfucker. And you like to troll people on the internet because I see you in the YouTube comments as well. I don't respond every time because you're not worth my time. But when you come on my live stream and call me a liar, well, that's where you're taking a little too far. And if you keep on doing it, we're gonna eventually ban you because it's getting fucking ridiculous. Never once aggregated from somebody else or said myself, Jericho will be in the Rumble. I predicted and fantasy booked, hey, great place to bring him back. Never said it was going to happen for sure. So to call me a liar is to knock on my credibility, and we ain't fucking doing that here. You ain't going to knock down my credibility with a goddamn lie of your own, you stupid son of a bitch. No, Fozzy is not currently on tour. I don't think they have a tour till like March. Let's go to Fozzy's website really fast. February. They're on tour next weekend. They got some UK dates next weekend, but Jericho's completely free up this weekend. They're not doing anything this weekend. I thought it was March, but it's this weekend. They're in England, Scotland, Wales, and back to England. So, yeah. No, nothing as far as this weekend that would have kept Jericho busy that we know of. Nothing with Fozzy, at least. But as far as AJ Styles and Gunther. So, let me... So we do this match, right? AJ Styles and Gunther. Styles enters to a massive reaction. You know, Gunther came out first. AJ then comes out, gets a huge reaction from the crowd. The match starts, and they're throwing chops and whatnot. Gunther quickly got him down with the headlock. Gunther's whole thing was, I'm going to make you tap out. I'm going to put that sleeper on you and win. And Gunther gets him in the first chin lock, first headlock, first sleeper. Crowd starts booing, of course. Gunther got the offense here. And AJ kind of fires up, so the crowd goes wild. Gunther then booted Styles out of the ring and gave him a back suplex onto the announce desk before driving him into the post. Gunther continued his assault as the fans start chanting, "Fuck you, Gunther. Fuck you, Gunther." Styles, all of a sudden we notice there's blood coming from somebody, and it was AJ. AJ was bleeding from the forearm because I guess when he got dumped on the announce table, he slit his arm open, and it was a pretty good gusher too. Like, it wasn't bleeding a lot, like gushing blood, but it looked deep. It looked deep in the whole freaking width of his forearm. I think maybe he like smacked his arm on one of the screens, the monitors or whatever. I'm not 100% sure. But Gunther then hit a backdrop in the ring and applied a Boston Crab. Styles kicked his way out of it and hit a Pele kick on the big man. Styles then followed this up with a Ushigoroshi for a 2. Gunther then avoided a Styles clash and nailed a clothesline for a 2. He hit this freaking JBL style clothesline that commentary could not stop talking about for a while. Gunther then charged at Styles. Styles kicked his leg out from under him and applied a calf crusher. Gunther was close to the ropes, so Styles rolled back to the middle of the ring and reapplied the calf crusher. Gunther, though, managed to wrap his arm up around and pull AJ in a bump. Got him in that sleeper again. Styles did counter out of it, though. Gunther reapplied the sleeper until Styles dumped him from the ring. Styles then followed this up with a phenomenal forearm to the outside. Styles then slid Gunther back into the ring and went to the top, but Gunther chopped him and met him at the top rope. They continued to fight and found themselves back in the middle of the ring, where Styles hit Gunther with his own type of a powerbomb for a near fall. Styles then followed this up with springboard 450 and a Styles clash for a near fall. Styles hit a phenomenal forearm, but Gunther ducked it. Gunther almost collided with the referee as he avoided a sleeper, and he used the distraction as he's, got the ref in the corner, and they're like all jammed up together. Oh, boom, yo kick, low blow. Hits him with the power bomb. And I'm like, oh, shit. No, AJ's not going out with a fucking low blow. AJ's not going out with a fuck. Oh, wait, no, it's not a submission. Never mind. 1, 2, kick out. Because I'm like, they're going too hard on this match is ending with a submission. That's not going to be it. But for a second, kind of pissed me off when I thought AJ was about to lose to a low blow. Gunther then chopped Styles repeatedly in the corner and booted him to the ground. At this point, AJ's like dead or dying. The referee told Styles, hey, we could just stop the match. And AJ's like, no. And so he like pulls Gunther off for a second. He's checking on AJ, and Gunther's like, hey, well, this match is still going. Beat his ass a little more. And he's chopping AJ, repeated chops. AJ can't barely even stand. The ref's checking on him again. Gunther kept clobbering AJ Styles, dropped him with a clothesline. Styles got to his feet and responded to Gunther with a chop of his own. A series of forearms, and the fans started to rise again. Styles then booted Gunther in the corner and went for a phenomenal forearm, but Gunther caught him and applied the sleeper. Styles then started to fade like John Cena, that arm going down, but then he fought to his feet. Gunther fended him off and cinched in yet another sleeper. Styles got close to the ropes, but Gunther yanked the arm back. Gunther maintained control of the sleeper hold, and Styles was reaching weakly trying to go for the ropes, and the ref's just yelling, AJ! AJ! And AJ's not really responding, but his arm's still kind of up. It's like dropping in and up. And the ref's like, AJ, do you give up? AJ, what are we? AJ. And finally, AJ's just, and the arm's just dead. And the ref, 1, drop. It's it. Didn't even do like the 3. It's just 1 drop with no kind of life. And the ref just calls it. And the whole crowd is just, Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. It's that same kind of a moment where everyone's just whoop, air sucked out of the building. No sound is coming from anybody in the stands. They don't believe what they just fucking saw. AJ Styles has to retire. And I'm like, no fucking way. For the week now. Oh, we're going to get this year-long tour, and I'm going to face this guy, and I want to fight that guy, and Cody, and Punk again. But nope. AJ's just done. Gunther retired AJ. And I want to talk about that here for a second. Gunther retired AJ. They're calling Gunther the career killer, right? They say he's now killed 3 careers, where he's really only killed 1 career. Here's the thing. With both Goldberg and John Cena, yes, Gunther was the last opponent for both of them and beat both of them. But going into those matches, both men said, regardless of the outcome, whether I win, whether I lose, whether it's Goldberg, whether it's Cena, they both said, regardless of the outcome, this is my final match. I'm done after tonight. My career is over. So can you really say Goldberg killed their careers when they already had said previously that no matter what happens in this match, I'm done? That's not killing a career. But in storyline, you can say he killed AJ's career because it was AJ's career on the line. In those other two matches, the Bill Goldberg, the John Cena match, careers were not on the line. Careers were going to end no matter what. And so it's over. And all of a sudden, I start seeing just the dumbest side of the wrestling fan base going, oh, AJ's going to go to AEW, fight Kenny Omega. Oh, AJ and Will Ospreay should main event if I got all in. What? No, AJ's done. And I want to read this from Triple H on the post show where Triple H actually stated, quote, there are a lot of conversations on the off chance when this all came down. Obviously, we expected it later in the year. We had a lot of conversations about it. AJ is one of those people that absolutely wants to give back and be part of this business. I don't want to speak for him, but the conversation that he had with me, he made it very clear that he was just done with the in-ring. There's a point where you just reach in your career where you say, quote, I don't want to do this anymore. And when your heart goes, no matter how good you are, hasn't lost a step, when you just say, quote, I'm just at a place where I don't want to do this anymore, it's time before you get hurt, before you get told you're not allowed to do this anymore. I think he was there. I'm hoping that he will continue because, again, he's one of the most influential people in this business. And he would go on to say that AJ still wants to be involved in wrestling. And so this doesn't sound like somebody that's, oh, I'm done with WWE, but I'm going to go wrestle elsewhere to finish off my year. It doesn't. It sounds like somebody that maybe wants to stick around with WWE. AJ has actually said in the past he would love to be a talent scout for the WWE when his career in the ring is over. He would love to still continue to work for WWE. To have these conversations with Triple H, and whether Triple H is being 100% truthful of what the conversation was or not, to me, it doesn't sound like somebody that's just not going to renew his contract if it's up in a month or a couple of weeks and then go wrestle elsewhere. It sounds like somebody that's truly done in the ring. Again, Triple H even said, I thought we were going to have him for a little bit longer. I thought we would get that year-long retirement tour. And he's just ready to be done at the Rumble. And I think that's because his contract is up in February, according to multiple reports. And so it's more like, you know, Rumble's where I debuted in WWE. I don't have to re-sign something else. Let's just end it at the Rumble. And Triple H did talk about, you know, we're going to give him a lot of thank yous. We're going to give him a lot of, you know, I think AJ goes into the Hall of Fame this year. I really do. I think, and maybe not, it's hard. Do you put Cena in this year? I wouldn't put Cena and AJ in the same year because I see them both as headliners, especially with what Triple H said about AJ's influence on this business. He basically said that he was this generation's Shawn Michaels as far as who guys watched, inspired by, and emulate. Just like with his generation, everyone says, oh, I was inspired by Shawn Michaels. I wanted to wrestle like Shawn Michaels. Now you have a whole new generation coming around saying, I was inspired by AJ Styles. I wanted to wrestle like AJ Styles. And you see a lot of people that wrestle like AJ Styles. Now you got some guys, you know, you could say like a Will Ospreay or a Ricochet or even maybe a Kenny Omega, even though they kind of came up around the same time. You know, panned their move sets early on in their careers like stuff they saw AJ doing and then evolved it into what they've got themselves. But I agree. I think AJ is one of the most influential professional wrestlers of the last 20 years. Just how Shawn Michaels and people of that era inspired people to, you know, this is how Shawn Michaels and Ric Flairs and Dusties inspired people to do different things in wrestling. Dusty inspired people to become better talkers. Ric Flair inspired people to be better talkers and have longevity in the ring. Shawn Michaels inspired people to have this whole new different style. People weren't wrestling like Shawn. Shawn was AJ Styles before AJ Styles. AJ Styles was influenced by Shawn Michaels and grew that influence into the AJ Styles style. And now you see that with like a Will Ospreay, where Will Ospreay was inspired by AJ Styles and has taken that and elevated it into now the Will Ospreay style. So it's like, the one thing that confused me with all of this, though, was AJ's in the ring, and you can see he's getting emotional, and he goes to take the glove off. He's taking the gloves off, and he goes, no, and he throws the hands back up. Then he gets out of the ring, and he starts to walk, and he goes, one more, and he gets in there, and he back up on the middle rope. And I'm like, that was weird, because if he's done, then why not leave the gloves? You know what I mean? Why put them back on and then you do the hand thing and then you do the gloves? So I don't know. Also, we get one more stupid motherfucker in here saying the Rumble was empty. Oh, never mind. My dyslexia read that wrong. I apologize to Phil here. Wasn't empty. No, it wasn't. But since I, scolded that guy at the beginning and gave him a hey, what have you, I've seen other comments. You keep more people trying to do the whole, this is an empty rumble in the comments. I'm just going to fucking time you out. We don't need that anymore. But Phil's comment is not that. Never mind. I apologize. Sometimes my dyslexia reads things too fast. Like my brain reads faster than it processes. And so wasn't read to me as was. Anyways, yeah. So AJ's in the ring afterwards. The crowd's chanting, no. And he goes to take the gloves off and he puts them back on, like I said, and hands up. And yeah. Very interesting stuff. But all the people going, AJ's going to leave and go do his own out of WWE retirement tour. He's going to go have a match in TNA. He's going to go fight Kenny Omega. Maybe Will Ospreay later this year. I don't see it happening. I could be wrong. And I'll admit if I was wrong. But I don't see AJ going elsewhere to continue wrestling in 2026. As we move forward here, we did have the WWE Championship on the line. Drew McIntyre defending against Sami Zayn. And there was a couple of things to look at going into this match. Sami had fought Drew, 11 times before this? Never beat him. Sami cannot beat Drew. But the one thing was, Sami's never lost in Saudi. And here's the weirdest fucking thing with Sami Zayn and Saudi that still I don't understand. In 2018, when WWE first started going to Saudi, we got those rumors and reports that Sami Zayn was not allowed to go with WWE to Saudi. Now, not allowed, not because the government of Saudi said not to bring him, but because WWE thought they wouldn't like him there. They wouldn't want a Syrian guy there, right? WWE thought that Sami Zayn would not be received well because of his nationality, his genes, where his family's from. Then they brought him there in 2021, and they loved the crap out of this guy. Now WWE fucking pushes this guy like he's the king of Saudi. It's so weird. It was and maybe that was a Vince call, and now this is a Triple H call, but still, maybe that's the difference there. But it's just so weird that they're not allowing Sami to go because they don't think he would be perceived well. And so that's why Kevin Owens didn't go to the first one, because everyone had the option of you can go or you could not go. It's up to you. We're not going to hold it against you. And Kevin Owens was like, you ain't going to let Sami go? I'm not going. So Sami didn't go for a while. Or Kevin, I mean. But now it's like, oh, Sami's the biggest fucking thing in the world there, as far as sports and wrestling goes. But as far as this match goes, it's a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. McIntyre was in control until Zayn dumped him from the ring and followed it up with a flip dive. They then played it up like Sami injured his lower back here, because he kind of did land on Drew, but kind of slid past him and smacked his back. So cool little sell spot here that they played up throughout the match with Sami's back. McIntyre saw Zayn was hurt, so he drove him back first into the side of the ring. Back inside the ring, McIntyre followed this up with a backbreaker and an Irish whip into the corner, and then another backbreaker for a 2. At one point, Zayn ducked a Claymore attempt and applied a crucifix pin for a 2. Zayn then went to the top, but McIntyre met him up there and hit him with an avalanche white noise for a 2. The crowd then fell silent as McIntyre hit 3 consecutive Future Shock DDTs. Zayn, though, barely got a shoulder up to kick out. Crowd thought that, they thought that was it. McIntyre then hit consecutive running clotheslines in the corner. Zayn tried to catch him off guard by running up from behind with a haluva kick, but McIntyre saw it coming. McIntyre ducked it and hit a claymore, but Zayn got his foot on the ropes to break the count. McIntyre then argued with the referee that it should have been a 3 until Zayn suddenly nailed him with a haluva kick for a near fall. McIntyre then rolled to the outside, so Zayn went after him. McIntyre powerbombed him through the announce table, which broke with ease. They've got 3 freaking refs checking on Sammy here to see if he's dead or not. McIntyre was like, fuck this. You're not calling off the match? Well, I need to end it. So he pushes the referee out of the way, sort of. He doesn't really push the referee. He gets in there as the ref's trying to tell him, hey, we're checking on this guy. He's like, no, I need to end this match. And so he takes Sammy, he attacks him some more. McIntyre punches Zayn and told him, just stay down. Do it for your son. Don't let me kill you. McIntyre then smacked Zayn across the face, but Zayn gave him one back, hit him with an exploder suplex in the corner. Zayn then went for a haluva kick, but McIntyre nailed him with a claymore. McIntyre then didn't go for the cover, going, this guy ain't staying down. Hold on. One more time. Sammy slowly got to his knees. He was ready for him. Didn't like the edge. One more claymore, pinned him 1, 2, 3. 16-minute match. It was pretty good. Pretty dang good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So just remember this. Drew McIntyre is still your WWE champion. As predicted, because, well, where they're going next, I didn't expect. Well, I expected where they're going next, but not how they got there. I did not expect Drew to get involved in the Rumble. So they played a clip from the pre-show of Paul Heyman confronting Adam Pearce, being pissed off that Braun Breaker's got to be number 2. And he's like, this is rigged. I thought Braun Breaker's going to be number 1. Why are you making him go number 2? Number 2 doesn't get the accolades when he wins, and number 2 is not as a sought-after thing, and blah, blah, blah. Basically saying number 1 and number 2 are the same, but no one ever cares when you start number 2. But it's a big deal if you start number 1, even though they're the exact fucking same. And so the Rumble starts. It's the men's Rumble. And number 1 is freaking Oba Femi. And I go, Oba Femi and Braun Breaker 1 and 2. Oh, this is going to be interesting. But we really didn't get that. So Oba Femi's in the ring. And everyone knows who number 2 is going to be. So we're just waiting, and Braun Breaker's music hits. Him and Heyman walk out on the stage. They walk down the ramp. And as they get right at the end of the ramp, a hooded man attacks Braun Breaker, grabs Braun Breaker, throws him hard into the steel steps. Braun then kind of crawls back out. Man jumps up, boom, hits him with a curb stomp, throws him in the ring. Bell rings, ding, ding, ding. Immediately, Braun's like, ooh, what the hell just happened? He looks up, boom, there's Oba. Woo! Braun's eliminated out of the Rumble in seconds. He's pissed off. Him and Paul Heyman walk around the ring, go in front of commentary. According to Michael Cole, Heyman's yelling out names on who he thinks that hooded man was, because the hooded man immediately ran out through the crowd. And they leave the other way of the crowd. And so, yeah, they fucking got Braun Breaker out of here in 15 seconds, if even that. He was in that ring for not even 10 seconds, maybe. But who's the masked man? Who is it this time? Last time, it was Austin Theory working for the Vision. Now this is against the Vision. Now they probably want you to think that it's Seth Rollins, but it's not. At least that's not who was under the hood. Because frickin' Seth Rollins is not cleared to do anything like that right now. Seth Rollins just yesterday was in New York on ESPN. And everyone's like, oh, they can get him there in time. But yeah, I think maybe in the end it could be revealed as Seth, but I don't know if the man under the hood was actually Seth Rollins. And let's see something really fast, if there's been any reports about it yet. Let's check F4W Online. Nothing from them yet. Let's check Fightful and see if they have anything. Nothing that I can see yet. But no one's reported who the masked man was yet. Thought number 3 is Solo Sikoa, and they tell us this is Solo's first Rumble, and I go, wait, what? I thought this would have been like Solo's like second or third. Well, been around for a little while. Okay, never mind. So Obafemi and him go at it, but Obafemi gets the better of it. But Solo shoved him shoulder first into the post as Rey Mysterio comes out at number 4. Rey got a big pop from the crowd. This is his, I think, 16th Rumble, they said. Sikoa then blocked a 619 and set it for a Samoan drop, but Femi booted him down. Rusev then comes out at number 5. Rusev hit a couple of drop kicks that looked pretty good on Obafemi, but couldn't get him down for elimination. Rey then gave Rusev a 619, and Femi quickly eliminated Rusev by shoving him over the top rope. Rusev wasn't even in there for like a minute, maybe max. Obafemi then grabs Solo and easily eliminates him. Femi then hit Rey Mysterio, then hit Femi with a 619 to the gut, not the face. Well, I think gut and face, maybe. I don't know. I wrote that weird. Femi no-sold it, though, and knocked Rey right out for another elimination. And, well, Obafemi's just standing there by himself. And I go, uh-oh. Who's the next sap that's going to get eliminated and destroyed by Oba? Oh, it's Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona comes out at number 6. Cardona comes down. Obafemi hits him with a fall from grace and quickly throws him out of the ring. 5 guys down. He's all by himself again. Damian Priest then comes out, and the two start to fight and not eliminated quickly. Actually, not eliminated for a while. Does not get the better of Damian Priest, Obafemi. So they're fighting for a little while, and then Javon Evans comes out next at number 8. Evans went for an OG cutter on Femi, but Femi blocked it. Femi almost eliminated Javon Evans, but Evans held on. Evans then hit a springboard clothesline on Priest while leaping right over Femi. Evans then knocked Femi down with a leaping enziguri. Then, number 9, one of the first non-announced names, it was Mr. Iguana. And this crowd, no clue who the fuck he was, because there was not a reaction at all for Mr. Iguana. Like, they were dead silent. He comes out at number 9. He gave Evans a tornado DDT with the iguana puppet in his mouth. Priest then ripped the iguana toy out of his mouth and chokeslammed him. Trick Williams came out at number 10. Big old massive superstar reaction. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. All 25,000 people chanting whoop that trick. Like, holy shit, this guy's a massive star. He's still got a ways to go in the ring because you can tell, main roster wise, he's still working like an NXT guy that's fully fleshed out and choreographed. But I think he'll get there. Star power wise, though, this man has got it. Williams knocks down Priest, and the crowd starts chanting NXT as Williams, Evans, and Femi all stand tall. Michael Cole tells us these 3 men ran a rough shot over NXT last year. Williams tries to toss Evans out, but he once again held on. Then we got our American Nightmare coming out. Cody Rhodes, biggest pop so far of anybody in the men's Rumble. Crowd's singing his song. Music stops. They're still singing his song. Rhodes then hits Williams with an uppercut, gave Evans a power slam, and hit Priest with a Cody cutter. He traded right hands with Obafemi as El Grande Americano, the Ludwig Kaiser version, keep that in mind, enters at number 12. El Grande placed a metal plate in his mask, right in full view of everybody, and landed some headbutts. All of a sudden, the El Grande Americano music hits again, and the graphics say, original El Grande Americano, and it's none other than, we know it, it's Chad Gable. He's kind of grown us out a little bit, and he's got a full, like, goatee beard deal, because you can see, like, the hair coming out of the bottom of the mask. So we've got 2 El Grandes, and they both get in the ring, and they do the Spider-Man meme, like, what? You, me, huh? And, like, Wade Barrett's over here calling him an imposter, and Michael Cole's like, no, that's the original. It's that original. This is the imposter. I told you that wasn't the real El Grande that we've been seeing for months and all this stuff. And so they're going back and forth on social media on who's the real El Grande Americano. Cole thinks it's Chad Gable, but Wade thinks it's Kaiser, but they're not saying Gable and Kaiser, and they go back and forth. Gable tried to remove Kaiser's mask, but Kaiser hit a Finley roll. Gable then followed this up with the German suplex. Kaiser went for Gable's mask, and Gable got him with the leg scissors and an elimination. So, Gable eliminates Kaiser. Williams, then knocked Gable off the apron next to eliminate him pretty quickly. Rhodes then followed this up by eliminating Trick. Then, we hear music we've never heard before, and we see the big screens. The whole stage is a big screen, and it frickin's got bricks on it, and it says Powerhouse Hobbs in spray paint. I'm like, Powerhouse Hobbs. And it literally reads Powerhouse Hobbs, and then the bricks all fall and collapse. And then spray painted onto the screens, it says Royce Keys. And Michael Cole literally goes, "Oh my God, it's really him. The man once known as Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys, is here in WWE." And Wade Barrett's like, "Oh my God, the internet was actually correct, Cole. Social media has been abuzz with this man possibly coming to WWE." And we slightly hear some faint AE-dub chants. So Keys comes in and he quickly eliminates Damian Priest, kills Javon Evans with a spine buster. Rhodes and him go face to face. As commentary mentions, they've had some stuff in the past. Which, have they? I don't remember much Powerhouse Hobbs and Cody Rhodes stuff in AEW. Because that would have been when Hobbs was still with Team Taz. And I don't remember Cody doing much with Team Taz. Anyways, they face off. Keys blocked an uppercut and drove Rhodes into the corner. Austin Theory would then come out at number 15. The first member of the Vision since Braun Breaker was eliminated. No Paul Heyman with him. That's a thing. So he comes out. He chop blocked Rhodes and punched him in the face before turning his attention to Evans. Bronson Reed then comes out at number 16 by himself and planted Evans with a tsunami. Ilya Dragunov then comes out at 17. Then we get another unannounced name, La Parka. Triple H La Parker comes out again to a nothing. No reaction at all. Dragon Lee then comes out at number 19, gets a decent reaction. Then they all took turns getting some shine moments here. And then Logan Paul, by himself, comes out at number 20. He got some brief offense in there with Royce Keys. And then Keys planted him with the world's strongest slam. Reed faced off with Keys, but Keys was attacked from behind by Logan Paul and Austin Theory. The three Vision men then teamed up, and Reed clotheslined Keys out of the ring for an elimination. So, setting up something with Royce Keys and the Vision, and this is just speculation, makes me think that Royce Keys is going to go to Raw. I think that's where he's going to go. I could be wrong, but why would you set him up to be eliminated by the Vision and like they triple teamed him and all of that if he's going to go to SmackDown? So, crowd kind of goes quiet. I don't know if they knew how to react to him being eliminated and it being the Vision. Reed then held La Parka on his shoulders. Theory used a rolling dropkick and eliminated La Parka. The Vision then teamed up to eliminate Dragon Lee next. Number 21, L.A. Knight. Yeah. L.A. Knight comes out to a huge reaction from the crowd in Riyadh. He eliminates Theory. Knight then gave Reed a BFT and eliminated him next. Crowd's chanting yes. Then, number 22, Brock Lesnar, accompanied by Paul Heyman. Big deal there. Because Paul Heyman came out with Braun Breaker and came out with Brock Lesnar, but didn't come out with anybody else in the Vision. Lesnar got the reaction you would expect. Big time megastar. Lesnar handed out German suplexes. At one point, it looked like he German suplexed Cody on top of Logan Paul, basically. But he's throwing people around Rhodes, Knight, Evans. He clotheslined Dragunov at one point and gave him an F5. Lesnar then faced off with Obafemi, and the crowd was like, "Oh, buddy." Nothing really happened here, though. Except for Miz comes out next to number 23. This is the all-timer. Miz comes out next to number 23. And Obafemi and Brock are like this. And Miz comes in, he goes to slide in, and he looks up, sees those two, and goes, "Yep, no, I'm not getting involved in that." Best decision Miz has ever made. He just gets right back out of the ring. Dragunov then chopped Lesnar repeatedly in the corner. He's like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah," like those freaking what's it called? Oh, what is Eddie Kingston called? Machine gun chops. Brock just no sells it all and dumps him out of the ring. He just grabs him and tries to throw him, but freaking he probably thought that Dragunov was gonna like go more for him. So Dragunov kind of gets stuck in the ropes, and Brock's like, "This fucking guy ain't going. Just throw him." So Lesnar eliminates him. Lesnar hands out some more German suplexes and then gets face to face with Obafemi again. But their interaction was cut short as number 24 is Rey Fenix. Phoenix was immediately tossed aside by Lesnar, though. Lesnar gave Femi a German suplex and planted Phoenix with an F5. Lesnar just throws Phoenix out of the ring. Phoenix gone like that. Femi, he went after Logan Paul, so Lesnar dumped Femi right out of the ring because he was distracted and enamored with somebody else. Lesnar then gave Logan an F5 and awaited the next entrant, Jey Uso. Don't get me fucking started on this one. Jey Uso literally comes down through the crowd. Day one, Ishman. He's taking his time and he gets down and then he goes to the ringside area and he's like chatting it up with one of the referees. Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah. The ref's like, you gotta go. Let's do this. And so, like, he goes to get in the ring, right? And he goes, do we run it back? And they're like, day one. And I was like, meh. Next guy comes out. His whole fucking entrance was the 2 minutes. I'm so over this. Thank you, Roman. Roman Reigns comes out next to number 26. Roman Reigns comes down to the ring, sees his cousin Jey Uso in the ring. He's like, Jay, buddy, what up? Hey, let's have some fun. You wanna? Run it back? And Jay's like, hell yeah, we run it back in the middle of the fucking Royal Rumble. And so Jay, like, he goes, like he does the big step, like he's gonna that, and then he comes back with it to do the yeets. Well, he does the big step. When he comes back, he turns, and Roman's like, fuck you playing around for. Boom! Knocks his ass out. Roman's like, quit playing this shit. So also, Roman come down full wire for full freaking fireworks display. So then Jacob Fatu. Well, Roman also eliminates Miz here. Jacob Fatu then comes out next to number 27. Before Fatu could enter, Cody Rhodes would hit him with a suicide dive. Fatu blocked it and tossed him into the barricade before chucking him back into the ring. Reigns and Fatu would then face off, but Rhodes went after Fatu once again. Cody was just so short-sighted here, just tunnel vision. Jacob. Moments later, Jay and Reigns then gave Logan Paul a 1D. I'm like, wait, this man popped you to run it back, and you're still going to work with him? Whatever. Penta came out at number 28. He gave Fatu a backstabber. Also, at this point, I realized Brock was gone. Who eliminated Brock? I missed the whole Brock Lesnar elimination. Like, who eliminated Brock? I have no notes on that because I totally missed how Brock was eliminated. I don't know how. All of a sudden, I was just watching and I go, wait, Brock's still not in there? Where the hell did he go? So, chat, let me know. Anyways, Penta comes out at number 8. He gave Fatu a backstabber as Fatu tried to do his little handspring back elbow thing. Cody and Knight. Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Kid Vicious. Totally missed it. Where was I? Oh, yeah, Penta gave him the backstabber. Knight then hit Penta with a power slam. Reigns with the BFT and Rhodes with the reverse DDT. However, Rhodes eliminated Knight moments later. Got 2 men left to enter. Number 29, Randy Orton. Which tells us if nothing has changed, number 30 would be Gunther. Randy comes down, crowd's chanting, I hear voices in my head, they talk to me, they understand, they talk to me, yeah. And then they stop playing the music, and the crowd's still chanting, yeah, they tell me things that I give to, they tell me things I'll do to you, they talk to me. Like, they stop playing Randy's theme, but the crowd's still singing it. So Randy comes out. Orton dishes out some power slams, hits Logan and Penta with RKOs. Gunther then comes out at number 30, takes his time coming down. He's limping because, all them calf crushers. His leg hurts. Javon Evans actually kind of takes him down, though, early on. Evans then went for the OG cutter on Orton. Wait, what was this? Oh, yeah. Evans went for the OG cutter on Orton. But Orton dropped him with an RKO instead. Orton then eliminated Evans. Gunther then eliminated Penta. Rhodes and Orton then faced off. So they turned their attention to Gunther. Orton held up Gunther. This is where I got confused because the Cody Cutter and the OG Cutter are the same thing. So I was like, wait, the OG Cutter into the Cody? No, it was Cody. Okay, so Orton's holding Gunther. But Cody goes for the Cody Cutter. And when he comes back, he's not looking at who he's grabbing. He's just grabbing. Gunther shoves himself off of Randy. Randy takes the Cody Cutter by mistake. Two then tried to dump Rhodes, but Rhodes held onto the top rope. However, McIntyre would fly in and give Cody a crossroads. So what happened was Jacob grabs Cody, throws him over the top rope. Cody holds on Shawn Michaels' spot. Cody then falls down onto his butt on the apron and then kind of like goes down to roll back into the ring. But as he kind of leans forward, boom, there's Drew with the Claymore to the face. Basically the Roman Reigns drive-by and eliminates Cody from the Rumble. Cody is out. Batu watching all this transpire, so Roman dumps him from behind. Jay tried to do the same to Roman, and Roman fought him off. Roman went for a spear, but Jay speared Roman instead. Jay tried to eliminate Roman, but Reigns countered and chucked out Jay. Final two were here. Well, final four, I mean. It was Roman, Orton, Logan, Gunther. Logan, like 3 times now, been in the finals of a Rumble. Good on him. Logan tried to buckshot lariat. This was weird as fuck. He does this buckshot that I don't know if like his foot caught the top rope or what happened, but he just like kind of just almost died and then just kind of leaped towards Roman. Roman Superman punches him, throws him out, eliminates him. I don't know what happened here, but it looked like Logan totally fucked up the buckshot. Orton then gave Reigns an RKO, but Gunther ran it from behind and eliminated Randy. We're down to our final two. Roman and Gunther. After a brief exchange, Gunther placed Reigns in a dreaded sleeper hold. Reigns slipped out of it and Superman punched him, but Gunther ducked and applied the sleeper again. Reigns ran towards the corner and drove Gunther face first into the top turnbuckle. Roman then followed this up with a spear before tossing Gunther's ass out of the ring, eliminating him and winning the Royal Rumble. Fans were happy. They popped big for the Tribal Chief winning the Royal Rumble. Massive fireworks display. Like I said, I don't know if this was the Roman fireworks display or a thank you WWE fireworks display, but it went on for like 5-10 minutes. And it was just off of all the top of the big buildings in Saudi. There were drones flying around, making shapes and stuff of like championships and whatnot. It was nuts. But this match was fine. I enjoyed the Women's Rumble slightly a little bit better. But to me, and you guys know I hate the Jey Uso run it back thing. To me, spot of the night was Roman saying, fuck you, quit playing, basically. Run it back, and then uppercut. But Roman Reigns wins the Rumble. I think he's going to go on and challenge CM Punk for the championship at WrestleMania. But with that, that was, well, WWE Royal Rumble 2026. I thought it was a pretty dang good show. Not great. We've had better PLEs, especially we've had better Rumble shows. But you know what I thought? Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of this show as far as all these dang near polls do go. Let's refresh all of these. Do we not do a Threads poll? Where is the Threads poll? I guess I didn't get a Threads poll. And I didn't do a community poll. I missed all these polls. What the shit? I apologize, guys. We do have a live poll, though. Yeah, well, we do have a Twitter poll. Let me see if I did a Threads. No Threads. I didn't do a community poll. I apologize. But we do have a Twitter poll. As far as the Twitter poll those go, 40% liked the show, 38% thought it was just all right, and 20% didn't like it. And as far as the YouTube live poll does go, 58% liked the show, 23% thought it was just all right, and 19% didn't like it. Wait, what? Esports or Elite? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? CM Punk question mark, where's Seth? What? Esports Gaming Rules. Yes, I was going to get to that. What? What do you mean, where's Seth? Have you not been watching the show for months? Anyways, Esports Gaming Rules, the bit donation says, did you see Randy or did you see Roman Reigns' interview on Pat McAfee's show? No, but I heard about it. And he was dogging on this company, so very interesting. But with that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, we'll be back live on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.